Asterisk. Imagine standing in the heart of a medieval city, centuries ago, when life moved to the rhythm of bells. The soft tolling from towering spires guided every step of the day, telling townsfolk when to rise, when to work, when to celebrate, and even when to grieve. Each chime carried meaning, connecting every street, every home, and every soul in quiet, steady harmony. Tonight, we invite you to step back in time, to walk along shadowed cobblestones, to pause in hushed marketplaces, and to truly listen to the gentle music of bells that have echoed through centuries. From the morning bell that wakes the city, to the wedding bell that celebrates love, to the solemn toll marking loss, and all the way to the midnight watch, guarding the sleeping streets. This is a journey not just through a city, but through the heartbeat of a world long gone. Close your eyes. Let the bells guide you. Let the streets, the towers, and the quiet courtyards carry you deeper into calm. This is listening to the bells of a medieval city. Asterisk sound. Distant bells fade softly into a calm, continuous chime as the story begins. Before dawn, the medieval city is at its quiet. The walls stand motionless beneath the night sky, thick stone holding centuries of warmth and memory. Towers rise above clustered rooftops, their silhouettes softened by darkness. Narrow streets, paved with uneven stone, lie empty and still. No carts move, no voices. Carrie, even the dogs that usually linger near doorways are silent. This is not the kind of silence that feels empty. It is full and settled, like a room after a long day. Inside timber-framed houses, families sleep beneath heavy wool blankets. Breath rises and falls in slow, steady rhythms. A child stirs briefly, then settles again. Somewhere, a fire has burned low, its last embers glowing faintly beneath ash. The city is resting, as it has rested countless nights before. Above, the sky is dark, but calm. There is no urgency in it, no sudden movement. Clouds drift slowly, barely visible, and the stars look down on a place that has learned to wait. Then, from deep within the city, a bell begins to sound. It does not ring sharply. It does not hurry. The first note is low and measured, spreading outward through the streets and along the walls. The sound moves gently, as if it knows the city well and does not wish to disturb it too suddenly. It passes over rooftops, slips into alleys, and reaches corners where light has not yet returned. This is the first bell before dawn. It marks the final stretch of night, not the beginning of day, but the moment just before it. A boundary, quietly acknowledged. On the city walls, a watchman hears the bell and shifts his stance. He has been walking the same path for hours, lantern swinging lightly at his side. The bell tells him his watch is nearly over. Soon, another will take his place. He rests his hands on the cold stone and looks out across the fields beyond the gates, where darkness still holds firm. In the distance, the land is quiet. Farms and villages remain asleep, but the bell reaches them too, faint and softened by distance. It is a sound they recognize. It means the city still stands. The night has passed without alarm. Within the city, monks hear the bell from behind monastery walls. They do not startle. They do not check the time. They do not wonder what it means. They already know. Candles are lit in silence. Sandaled feet touch cool stone floors. Robes are gathered. Movements practiced and unheard. The bell is not a command. It is a companion, one that has guided them through the dark hours every day of their lives. For most others, the bell is only half heard. A merchant turns in his sleep, the sound brushing the edge of his dreams. A baker exhales slowly and pulls his blanket closer. A woman near the river opens her eyes for a moment, then closes them again, knowing there is still time. The bell rings. Once more. Each strike is spaced apart, allowing the sound to fully settle before the next arrives. The city does not resist the bell, it accepts Italiano. This bell has rung through years of peace and years of hardship. It rang when the walls were new. It rang when fires took whole streets. It rang when armies passed nearby, and when markets overflowed with goods. It has marked births, deaths, marriages, and ordinary mornings that no one remembered for long. It has outlived kings and councils. The bell is not owned by any single person. It belongs to the city itself. As the sound fades, silence returns. But it is not the same silence as before. It is slightly lighter now, as if the night has loosened its hold. Somewhere far off, the sky begins to shift, though no color shows yet. Time has moved forward, gently and without effort. The streets remain empty. Doors remain closed. Nothing demands attention. This moment exists simply to be felt. The bell's echo lingers briefly against the stone, then disappears. The city breathes. If you were standing here, you would feel no need to move. There is nothing to do yet, nothing to prepare. The day has not asked for anything. This is a moment the medieval world knew well, a shared pause between darkness and labor, between sleep and responsibility. People did not rush through it. They lived inside it, morning after morning, trusting the bell to guide them when the time came. And for now, it has done its work. The bell remains still. The watchman turns and walks slowly along the wall. A monk settles into his place, among others in the chapel. A baker remains asleep for a little longer. The city holds itself quietly, balanced between night and dawn. You are safe here. There is no schedule to follow, no sound to respond to. Only the memory of the bell, steady, familiar, and calm, lingering in the air as the medieval city waits for morning. Within the walls of the monastery, the bell carries a different weight. Here, it is not simply a marker of time, but part of a living rhythm that has shaped every hour of every day. The stone buildings stand apart from the noise of the city, enclosed by thick walls and narrow gates. Even during daylight, this place remains quieter than the streets beyond. Before dawn, it feels almost suspended outside the world. The bell sounds again, measured and calm. Its tone is deep and rounded, designed not to startle but to reach. The sound moves through cloisters and corridors, touching every corner of the monastery. It echoes softly beneath stone arches, then fades into spaces where shadows still cling to the walls. A monk opens his eyes. There is no alarm, no sudden movement. Rising before dawn is not an interruption here. It is expected. He sits up slowly, feeling the cool air of the chamber. The room is simple. A narrow bed, a small wooden chest, a shelf with a few well-worn objects. Nothing unnecessary. Nearby, another monk lights a candle. The flame flickers briefly before settling, casting a warm glow that pushes back the darkness. One by one, figures move quietly, each following the same routine learned long ago. No one speaks. Silence is not emptiness in this place. It is structure. It allows each sound to remain clear and meaningful. The soft shuffle of feet, the gentle brush of fabric, the faint creak of wood beneath careful steps. They gather in the chapel. The space is tall and cool, the air carrying the scent of stone and wax. Candles line the walls, their flame steady. The bell's sound lingers here longer, as if the stone itself remembers every note that has ever passed through it. This is matins, the prayer of the night hours. The monks stand together, not as individuals, but as part of a shared order. Their breathing slows as they settle into place. When chanting begins, it is low and unadorned. There is no performance here, no need to impress. The voices rise and fall in steady patterns, practiced and unchanging. The bell has already done its work. Outside the monastery, the city remains mostly asleep. The bell's sound reaches it more faintly now, softened by distance and walls. For those who hear it, it does not demand attention. It simply exists in the background, a reminder that somewhere order is being maintained. In the medieval world, night was not empty time. It had purpose. Monasteries ensured that even darkness was filled with rhythm and intention. While others slept, prayers continued. While streets lay silent, voices rose within stone walls. The bell connects these worlds. It does not separate the monastery from the city. It links them. The same sound that guides monks also reassures watchmen and travelers. It tells the city that someone is awake, that the hours are being counted, that time is still moving forward in a steady, predictable way. As chanting continues, the outside world begins to shift almost. The darkest part of night has passed. The air feels slightly different, though no light has arrived yet. Somewhere beyond the walls, the sky has begun its slow change. Within the chapel, the monks remain focused. Their movements are small and deliberate. When they kneel, it is done together. When te risa, it is unheard. Everything here has its place. For centuries, this routine has repeated itself. Different faces, different voices. Te samibel, generations have come and gone, but the sound remains unchanged. It has marked lives measured not by years, but by hours and prayers. The bell has outlasted names, memories, and even the stones of older buildings long since rebuilt. It continues because it is needed. As matins draws to a close, the bell does not ring again immediately. Silence returns gently, settling into the space without resistance. Candles burn quietly. The monks remain still for a moment longer, allowing the calm to fully settle. Soon, they will return to their simple tasks. Some will read by candlelight. Others will prepare for the coming day. There is no hurry. The bell will guide them again when the time comes. Outside, the city remains wrapped in darkness, but it is no longer heavy. The bell has softened it, shaped it, and given it meaning. If you listen closely, you can imagine the sound still drifting through the air, slower now, quieter, fading into memory. It does not need to linger. Its presence is already felt. Here, time moves differently. There is no rush toward morning, no anxiety about what comes next. Each hour will arrive when it is meant to, carried forward by sound and habit. The monastery settles again, waiting, and beyond its walls, the medieval city continues to rest, held steady by stone, silence, and the quiet certainty of the bell. Dawn approaches slowly in the medieval city. There is no sudden change, no sharp line between night and morning. Instead, the darkness loosens its hold a little at a time. The sky lightens almost without notice, and the air feels less heavy, as if it has taken a deeper breath. Then the bell sounds again. This bell is different from the one before it. Its tone is lighter, slightly higher, and its rhythm carries a sense of beginning. It does not break the calm, it guides it forward. This is the dawn bell. The sound travels outward from the church tower, moving across rooftops and into narrow streets. It touches wooden doors, stone walls, and shuttered windows, reminding the city that the day is arriving in its own time. Inside a small house near the eastern gate, a baker hears the bell and opens his eyes. He does not rise immediately. He listens first, letting the sound settle. He knows exactly what it means. Soon, the ovens will be lit. Dough prepared the night before will be shaped and placed carefully onto wooden boards. Across the street, a woman stirs and pulls her cloak closer around her shoulders. The bell tells her there is still a little time before the household must wake. She rests again, comforted by the familiar rhythm. The city responds gently. Shutters open just a little, allowing pale air to slip inside. A stable door creaks as it is unlatched. Hooves shift softly against packed earth. Somewhere nearby, a rooster answers the bell with a call of its own, not in competition, but in agreement. The streets remain quiet. No carts roll yet. No markets have opened. The medieval city does not leap into the day. It eases into it, guided by sound rather than urgency. The bell rings again, marking the official beginning of working hours. In the medieval world, bells served as clocks long before watches were common. They told people when to begin labor, when to rest, and when to stop. They kept order not through force, but through familiarity. A merchant checks the latch on his door, then returns inside for a final moment of stillness. An apprentice washes his face at a basin, the water cold but refreshing. A craftsman stretches his hands, already thinking of tools he has held for years. Each person hears the bell differently, but they all understand it. Above the city, the sky continues to brighten. Soft gray gives way to pale blue. The outlines of buildings become clearer, their shapes no longer hidden by night. Chimneys begin to breathe again, thin threads of smoke rising slowly. Beyond the walls, in fields that stretch toward the horizon, farmers pause in their work. Some are already awake, others just beginning to move. They hear the bell faintly, carried by the morning air. It tells them the city is alive, that trade and shelter await if they are needed. The bell connects these spaces, city and field, work and rest, individual and community. Within the city square, footsteps begin to echo softly. A cart is pulled into position. A stall is assembled with practiced movements. There is no rush to be first. Everyone knows their place. The bell rings one last time for the morning. Its final note lingers, then fades, leaving behind a city fully awake but still calm. Life moves forward in quiet coordination. The day has begun, but it does not demand more than is necessary. This is the rhythm the medieval city has always known. People do not count minutes. They listen. They respond when the sound reaches them. Time is shared, not owned. As the bell grows silent, its presence remains. It has set the pace, given permission to begin, and then stepped aside. The city hums, gently now. Not loud. Not hurried. Simply alive. And as the world around you awakens, you are free to do the opposite. There is no bell calling you to rise, no task waiting. You can remain here, listening, allowing the steady sounds of the medieval morning to drift past without effort. The city moves on, guided by the bell. You rest. As the morning settles fully over the medieval city, life begins to gather in familiar places. The light is clearer now, spreading evenly across stone and timber. Shadows shorten, colors return slowly, softened by the early hour. The city is awake, but it has not yet reached its busiest moments. Then the bell sounds once more. This bell is not meant for waking or prayer. Its tone is practical and steady, carrying a sense of order rather than ceremony. It rings from the same tower, but its meaning is different. This is the market bell. The sound moves across the city, finding its way into workshops, homes, and narrow lanes. It tells people that the shared spaces are opening, that trade and exchange are about to begin. In the central square, merchants respond without hurry. Wooden stalls are unfolded and set in place. Cloth is draped carefully, cornice weighed down against the morning air. Baskets are arranged, lids lifted, goods revealed. Everything happens at a measured pace, shaped by habit and repetition. The market is not loud yet. Voices remain low. Greetings are exchanged quietly, familiar faces recognized. Many of these people see one another almost every day. The bell has brought them together again, as it always does. A fishmonger rinses his table with water drawn from a nearby well. A cloth seller smooths fabric with practiced hands. A farmer sets down baskets of vegetables still cool from the field. The bell has told them when to begin, and they trust it. In medieval cities, the market bell served more than convenience. It ensured fairness. It marked the official start of trade so that no one could gain advantage by opening early. It created shared time that belonged to the city, not to individuals. Buyers arrive slowly. A woman with a woven basket pauses to listen before stepping into the square. A craftsman on his way to work stops briefly, exchanging news with a neighbor. Children trail behind adults, still quiet, still observant. The bell rings again, shorter this time. Now the market is open. Coins are exchanged. Weights are measured. Hands move goods from one place to another. The sounds are soft, wood on wood cloth, shifting, low conversation. There is movement, but no chaos. Above it all, the bell's presence remains, even in silence. It has shaped the moment, given it boundaries. Not far from the square, a town crier prepares to speak. He waits until the bell's final echo has fully faded. Only then does he raise his voice, reading announcements that matter to everyone. News travels this way, guided by sound, serene, openly. The bell and the voice work together. In the medieval city, bells replace signs and clocks. They organize public life in a world where few can read and fewer still carry timepieces. Everyone listens. Everyone understands. As the morning continues, the square fills gently, not crowded, not rushed, just alive. From a distance, the market sounds blend into a steady background hum. To those living nearby, it is a familiar comfort, proof that the city is functioning as it should. Above the square, windows open wider now. People lean briefly to look down, then return to their tasks. Life continues on many levels, all guided by shared rhythms. The bell does not ring again for a while. It has done what it needed to do. As trade continues, time passes almost unnoticed. No one watches the sky or counts hours. They trust the bell to speak when change is needed. And eventually, it will. For now, the market breathes steadily. People move in patterns shaped by years of experience. Even newcomers listen first. Respond when the bell calls. The medieval city does not demand constant attention. It offers structure. Instead, as the bell's memory fades into the background, the square settles into its rhythm. The day continues, calm and ordered. You can let these sounds drift past you, now distant voices, measured footsteps, the sense of shared purpose. Nothing here requires your involvement. The bell will return when it is time. As the day moves forward, the medieval city settles into its established order. The market continues its quiet exchange. Workshops hum softly with routine labor. Footsteps echo along familiar routes. Above it all, the towers remain still, watching over the streets below. Then the bell sounds again. This bell is not frequent, and when it rings, people recognize its meaning immediately. Its tone is firm but not harsh, measured rather than urgent. It does not signal danger or celebration. It signals authority. The sound travels through the city, clear and deliberate. It tells the people that matters of governance are about to be addressed. A council meeting will be held. An announcement will be made. A decision that affects the whole city is ready to be heard. In TSC Quar, movement slows slightly. Conversations. Pause. Those closest to the sound turn their attention toward the center, not out of fear, but out of habit. In medieval cities, law is not hidden behind distant walls. It is spoken aloud. It is heard by anyone who chooses to listen. The bell ensures that the moment is shared. Council members make their way toward the meeting place. Robes moving softly. Expressions calm and serious. These are men chosen for experience rather than power, expected to maintain balance rather than command obedience. They carry no weapons. Their authority comes from custom and collective agreement. Nearby, a town clerk prepares his parchment. The bell gives him time to settle, to ready his voice. He does not rush. The city will wait. As the bell rings again, shorter this time, people gather within hearing distance. Some stand. Some remain at their stalls, listening as they work. No one is required to attend, but most choose to hear what is said. The announcements are practical. A change in market rules. A reminder about city gates at night. A notice regarding maintenance of the walls. These are not dramatic proclamations. They're small adjustments meant to keep daily life running smoothly. The bell supports these words by giving them weight. In a world without written notices posted everywhere, sound carries authority. When the bell rings, people trust that what follows matters. They listen carefully, knowing this is how the city speaks to itself. After the announcements, the bell falls silent. There is no lingering tension, no expectation of more. The city absorbs the information and returns to its routines. Law here is not constant enforcement. It is structure. It provides predictability, allowing people to move through their days with confidence. As the hours pass, the bell does not ring again. It is not needed. Its presence is felt even in absence, a reminder that order exists whether or not it is actively spoken. Children play near the edges of the square, watched loosely by adults. Trades continue. The city breathes evenly. Authority, in this place, is quiet. It does not shout. It does not chase. It waits, ready to speak only when necessary. The bell remains still in its tower, unmoving against the sky. Time passes, and for you, listening from a place of rest, these sounds of order and routine can fade into the background. They do not demand your attention. They do not require your response. The city knows how to govern itself. The bell will speak again when the moment arrives. As the sun reaches its highest point, the medieval city begins to ease its movement. The morning's energy has settled into steady routine. Work has been underway for hours now. guided by habit rather than urgency. Tools are set down briefly. Hands pause. Breath deepens. Then the bell sounds again. This bell is softer than those before it. Its tone is unhurried. Its rhythm spaced and calm. It does not call people to action. It invites them to pause. This is the midday bell. The sound drifts across the city, touching workshops, kitchens, and market stalls. It moves through open windows and doorways, finding people where they are. When it is heard, heads lift slightly. Movements slow. In a smithy near the outer wall, a hammer is set aside. The metal has been shaped enough for now. The bell tells the smith that the work can wait. He wipes his hands, stretches his shoulders, and steps outside into the light. Nearby, a weaver secures her loom and rests her fingers. The bell gives her permission to stop without guilt. There will be time to continue later. Across the city, families gather for simple meals. Bread is broken. Water is poured. Conversations are quiet and familiar. This is not a feast, but it is enough. The midday bell creates shared rest. In medieval life, rest is not an indulgence. It is part of the structure that keeps people strong enough to continue. The bell ensures that everyone pauses together, preventing overwork and imbalance. Monks hear the bell and return once more to prayer. Their movements remain slow and practiced. The chapel fills with soft light now, sunlight filtering through narrow windows and settling on stone floors. Outside, the streets are quieter. Fewer footsteps pass. The market slows. Merchants sit behind their stalls rather than standing. Buyers linger, unhurried. The air feels warmer. Sounds carry differently, softened by the stillness. Some people choose to rest indoors. Others find shade along the walls or beneath awnings. Children nap briefly, their energy spent for the morning. Even animals lie down, finding cool places to wait. The bell rings again, marking the middle of rest. There's no rush to return to work, no sense of time slipping away. The city trusts the rhythm it has followed for generations. Above, the sun remains steady, its position unchanging for a while. This is a moment suspended between effort and return. For travelers passing through, this quiet can feel surprising. Cities are expected to be loud, crowded, constant. But here, silence is part of life. It is valued. It is protected. The bell fades, leaving behind a deep calm. Time moves slowly now. Breathing deepens. Shoulders relax. Thoughts drift without direction. For you, listening, this is a natural place to let go further. The city has paused. Nothing is expected. Nothing needs attention. You can rest alongside it. The medieval city does not push forward endlessly. It moves in cycles. Work, pause, work, again. The bell ensures that balance is maintained. As the midday light continues to bathe stone and timber, the city remains still. The next bell will come when it is time. Until then, there is only rest. As the city moves through midday and into the early afternoon, the bells continue their quiet presence, but their reach becomes more intimate now. They are no longer just for public spaces or religious life. They can be heard through doorways, windows, and along narrow corridors. Inside homes, the same familiar tones guide daily routines, reminding people of the steady flow of time. In a small timbered house near the marketplace, the bell drifts in through an open window. Its tone is gentle, carrying across the wooden floors and the modest furnishings. A woman pauses in her work, folding freshly laundered linen. She breathes slowly, feeling the rhythm of the sound settle into her bones. It marks a moment, not of obligation, but of awareness. The day continues, but for a brief time, she is fully present, listening and simply being. A child in another room hears a cymbal, muffled by walls and furniture. Is learning, as children often do, to measure the day not by sunlight alone but by sound. He pauses in play, placing a wooden figure carefully on the floor. The bell tells him that time has passed, that the day is moving forward, and that soon another pause or task will come. Even in the smallest homes, these sounds shape understanding of order. In kitchens, pots and pans rest for a moment as meals are prepared with measured care. Bread is shaped, water is poured, herbs crushed. The bell creates its own rhythm, guiding hands, eyes, and minds without forcing action. It has done this for generations, a steady companion to domestic life. In households larger or more affluent, the bell carries a slightly different weight. It is woven into the lives of servants, apprentices, and residents alike. Each person responds in their own way, but the effect is the same. Attention is guided, movement is coordinated, and the day flows without need for external command. The bell reaches across the city, brushing rooftops, entering upper rooms, and even falling faintly on courtyards behind walls. Its tone is a quiet authority, but it is not harsh. It reassures. It reminds people that the day is unfolding as it should. For centuries, families have come to know these sounds as intimately as the rising sun or the changing seasons. Even as work continues, the presence of the bell creates pauses, opportunities to breathe. A mother sets down a knife, wiping her hands on a cloth. A father lifts a child onto his lap for a brief embrace before returning to his tasks. Life is not hurried. It is steady, measured by sound as much as by sunlight. In narrow streets, windows and doorways open just enough to let the sound drift in, carrying news of the city beyond the walls. People catch faint snippets of conversations from markets or neighboring homes, all mediated by the bell's presence. It acts as a quiet thread weaving everyone together, connecting families, neighbors, and strangers alike. Through the bell, the rhythm of daily life is shared across the entire city, regardless of station or wealth. As the sound settles, it is easy to imagine the lives it touches. A young apprentice pauses at his loom to adjust tension in the threads. An elderly woman leans on a cane by the fire, listening with a sense of calm. Children learn to tell time in their own way, noticing that meals, chores, and walks are all aligned with the tones that echo through their streets. The bell is subtle, but its influence is pervasive. Even as the city hums with ongoing work, the bell has created moments of reflection, moments of quiet, and moments of presence. Its rhythm is gentle but unbroken, and its effect is profound. In the medieval city, sound shapes time as much as the sun or the stars. The bell reminds everyone that life continues in its expected order, and there is security in that continuity. The bell's final echoes fade slowly. Still, its presence lingers in memory. People return to their work, their conversations, and their routines, carrying the reassurance of its sound with them. There is no urgency, only awareness and understanding. The day continues, measured not by clocks or announcements, but by the subtle guidance of bells. From home to home, the bell has created a quiet network of connected lives. Families move in harmony with its tones. Children grow accustomed to listening before acting. Adults learn to pause and respond with calm attention. Through this sound, the city functions not only as a collection of buildings and people, but as a living, breathing organism, guided by rhythm and pattern rather than force. As the afternoon approaches, the city feels alive yet measured. Streets and homes are filled with movement, but it is calm and steady. The presence of the bell, though faint now, continues to organize the unseen patterns of life, creating a sense of balance and continuity. For anyone listening, this is an invitation to notice the gentle order of time, to move with it or simply rest while it continues. For you, listening, this is a moment to drift further into calm. There is no need to act, no need to rise or change position. Let the sound of the medieval city, carried through the bells, settle over your mind and body. Feel its steady, reliable rhythm. Allow the presence of structure, care, and continuity to ease your thoughts and encourage rest. The bell marks the passing hours without demand, guiding without pressure. The city moves forward, quiet but deliberate, and you remain safe within this rhythm. Its sounds echo through homes, streets, and marketplaces, creating harmony without intrusion. Life continues in its measured pace, and you are free to simply listen, to breathe, and to rest. The bells in the homes of the medieval city offer comfort, order, and the assurance that even as time passes, stability remains. As the day stretches on in the medieval city, the rhythm of daily life continues in quiet steadiness. Streets hum softly with the sounds of trade and labor. The air carries the faint scent of baking bread and fresh herbs. Children wander carefully along narrow lanes, stepping around carts and animals. Every movement, every sound, is subtly measured by the city's familiar bell tones. Then, from the church tower, a new bell begins to ring. This bell is different from those that marked work, prayer, or the city's authority. Its tone is brighter, yet still gentle, carrying warmth without urgency. It moves across rooftops and along cobblestones, spilling into narrow streets and quiet courtyards. Its sound tells the city that a special moment is taking place. A wedding. In the central square, townspeople pause, not out of obligation, but from curiosity and respect. They recognize the pattern of the bell. Its peals are celebratory, yet tempered by the calm expectation of the city. Life continues, but for those near enough, the sound draws attention and a quiet sense of connection. Inside the church, the ceremony is simple but meaningful. Candles line the walls, and sunlight filters through stained glass, scattering gentle colors across the stone floors. The couple stands before the altar. Their movements are measured and deliberate, each step part of a ritual repeated countless times over the centuries. The bell guides them without words, marking the passage of this moment in the larger rhythm of the day. Outside, families pause at doorways, listening. Children tilt their heads toward the sound, learning that bells can signify joy as well as routine. Merchants at their stalls glance toward the tower, noticing the difference in tone. But they do not stop their work entirely. Life carries on, balanced by the city's steady pulse. In the courtyard behind the church, a small procession begins. Neighbors walk slowly, following the couple and the ringing bells. No music blares, no shouts echo. Instead, there is a calm acknowledgement of life's continuity. The bells weave together the experiences of those present, participants, onlookers, and even passersby, into a shared awareness of celebration. Inside nearby homes, the bell drifts through open windows. A mother smiles quietly, letting her children pause in play to listen. The sound of joy, carried in this way, feels safe and inclusive, touching everyone in proximity without disrupting the day. In the medieval city, such moments are rare but treasured, and the bell ensures that they are recognized by the entire community. The wedding proceeds in measured steps, vows are spoken quietly, promises exchanged without haste. The couple's hands are clasped, gestures mirrored by those attending. The bell punctuates their union, marking each significant moment with gentle resonance. It does not rush the ceremony. It does not demand attention. It simply accompanies, steady and patient, guiding the flow of the day. As the ceremony concludes, the bell continues to echo across the rooftops. Its sound lingers in alleyways, brushing against shutters and wooden doors. Families pause to absorb the quiet happiness that fills the air. Children listen intently, some smiling, others simply noting the beauty of the sound. Even those engaged in work feel the soft reminder of life's smaller celebrations. A gentle procession returns to the streets, weaving slowly toward the homes of the newlyweds. Bells continue to ring in measured tones, not urgent, not loud, simply persistent enough to guide everyone along. The rhythm of the city remains intact, maintaining balance between public and private life, between labor and reflection, between ordinary and extraordinary moments. This celebration is woven seamlessly into the city's daily rhythm. The bell allows joy to be shared without disturbance. It shapes the experience so that everyone, whether actively participating or quietly observing, feels connected. In a time before loud announcements, printed invitations, or public notice, the bell itself communicates, meaning simple, clear, and reliable. For you listening, the sound of these wedding bells can serve as a gentle guide into calm reflection. There is happiness in continuity, in observing life's steady progress. Joy does not need to be loud or frantic. It can be quiet, shared through sound, and recognized in the same measured way as work, rest, and prayer. The city, in its ancient stone and timber, continues to maintain harmony through these simple rhythms. The bell fades gradually, leaving only its echo in memory. Life in the city moves on. Merchants return fully to their stalls. Children resume their games. Families continue with meals or household tasks. The ceremony has concluded, but the effect of the bells The calm acknowledgement of connection and shared joy lingers, even as the day continues toward afternoon and evening. The sound of this moment remains subtle, reminding all who hear it that life is not solely work or routine. It is also shared experience, happiness, and continuity. The medieval city moves in cycles, each bell marking its own significance, each tone adding to the steady flow of time and life. And for you, listening from a place of rest, this moment provides reassurance. There is balance in structure, warmth in rhythm, and peace in knowing that the world continues gently, without rush, without harshness. The wedding bells are soft witnesses to life, guiding the city through joy in the same measured way as it passes through work, prayer, and rest. The city is alive, but not overwhelming. The bells have marked this day, not only for those present, but for everyone who can hear and feel their echo. You can drift deeper into calm, allowing the sounds and rhythms of this gentle celebration to settle into your mind. There is nothing to do, nothing to respond to. The city carries on, and you remain safe within its quiet order. As the day in the medieval city moves into the late afternoon, not all bells bring celebration. Some are slower, heavier, and carry a weight that demands quiet reflection. Among these is the bell that tolls. For those who have passed, signaling a funeral or a moment of remembrance. Its sound is not frightening. It is steady, measured, and deeply respectful. From the highest tower, the bell begins its tolling, slow and deliberate. Each strike resonates through the city, brushing against walls, drifting into streets, and touching open windows. Its tone lingers longer than other bells, each echo stretching over rooftops, across cobbled squares, and into the courtyards of homes. The sound is solemn but comforting. It reminds people of life's continuity and the shared experience of passing time. Inside a small house near the city wall, a mother pauses as she folds linens. Her hands rest lightly on the cloth. She listens to the bell, and a quiet understanding settles over her. The sound marks not just loss, but also the recognition of life, lived and shared. It connects this city in a silent, unspoken awareness that death is part of the rhythm of life. Along the streets, people slow their movements. Children notice the bell, tilting their heads, sensing the shift in tone. Even without words, they understand the city is acknowledging something important. Work continues, but more gently, as though the bell has reminded everyone that time is measured not only by tasks completed, but also by respect and reflection. At the church, a small procession moves slowly toward the chapel. A couple of pallbearers carry a wooden coffin, steady and deliberate. Townspeople pause along the route, bowing heads or stopping mid-step. There is no rush, no spectacle. Life carries on around the procession, but all acknowledge the passage of this one person with quiet presence. The bell continues to toll, providing the rhythm for the procession, ensuring the steps of those walking remain measured and calm. In the monastery, monks respond as they always do. They join in silent prayer, their movements slow and deliberate. Each step in harmony with the bell is a slow rhythm. Candles flicker softly in the dim afternoon light, casting shadows that move gently across stone floors. Every tone of the bell carries reassurance. Life continues, memories remain, and the city holds the living and the dead together in a quiet, shared space. Even in homes farther away, the bell carries meaning. Families pause in whatever tasks occupy them, letting hands rest, letting hearts settle. The sound of the bell is not designed to frighten or alarm. It is meant to guide reflection, to remind the city that every life is connected, and that every absence leaves an imprint. People do not fear the bell. They respect it, understanding it as part of the daily rhythm, as essential as work, prayer, and celebration. As the tolling continues, the city seems to slow. The market hums softly. Fewer voices are raised, and even the animals appear to respond to the stillness. Each echo of the bell draws attention to the fleeting nature of time, marking both the end of one life and the continuation of others. It is a gentle instruction to move carefully, to carry awareness in every action. For travelers or newcomers, the bell may feel unusual. It may seem heavy or serious compared to the brighter tones of work or wedding bells. But within the medieval city, it is part of the natural order. Life is a cycle, and the bell acknowledges both joy and sorrow in equal measure. Listening closely, one can sense that the same rhythm underlies all daily life. Inside the churchyard, a grave is prepared with careful hands. The bell continues its measured toll, never hurried, never abrupt. Each swing of the clapper marks the passage of another moment, reminding all who hear it that life, like the sound, moves steadily forward. Families linger near the gravesite briefly, remembering the person who has passed. The city accommodates their reflection naturally, without disturbance or urgency. The final echoes of the bell drift outward, stretching into streets and alleys, touching every corner of the city. By the time the sound fades, life slowly resumes its rhythm, quieter now, but steady. Work continues. Children return to play. Merchants resume their stalls, but all carry a sense of calm that comes from having paused together. The city has shared a collective moment of acknowledgement and remembrance. For you, listening from a place of rest, the funeral bell can serve as a guide into gentle reflection. It reminds you that moments of pause and acknowledgement are part of life's natural rhythm. There is no rush, no urgency. The bell carries reassurance. Everything moves steadily, gently, and with purpose. You can feel the calm it brings without leaving your space. As the afternoon continues toward evening, the sound of the bell remains in memory. It has marked passage, guided reflection, and tied the city together in quiet acknowledgement. Life, death, and continuity exist side by side, and the medieval city moves forward with steady rhythm. You may imagine the tolling fading slowly into distance, leaving only peace. Nothing demands your attention. There is no urgency. You can rest alongside the city, allowing the calm structure of time, guided by bell tones, to carry you deeper into relaxation and comfort. The city remains alive, gentle, and measured, holding each life, each memory, and each listener in its quiet order. As the late afternoon unfolds in the medieval city, life moves with a quiet steadiness. Work continues in the markets and workshops. Children play cautiously in alleys, and families prepare for the approaching evening. The city feels calm, balanced, and familiar. Yet among the bells of daily routine, there are some with a different purposed bells that carry a sense of vigilance and caution. From the tallest tower, one such bell begins to ring. Its tone is lower, deeper, and more resonant than those of the market, prayer, or celebration. Each strike carries weight. The sound moves steadily through the streets, over rooftops, and across courtyards. Though it is not urgent or frantic, it commands attention. This is the bell of warning and protection. People pause as they hear it, not with panic, but with awareness. The bell reminds them that the city is alive and that certain moments require caution. Its presence is both reassuring and instructive. In medieval life, such sounds were vital. They guided responses to fire, approaching strangers, or other disturbances without the need for shouting or confusion. The bell allowed a shared understanding across a community that spanned every street and every home. In a small home near the city walls, a family listens carefully. Children stop their play, looking to their parents for guidance. A father checks that shutters are secure, that doors are latched. A mother gathers small household items and ensures that meals are safely covered. The bell moves through their awareness gently, shaping their actions without pressure or haste. Along the streets, merchants and craftsmen pause mid-task. The smith lowers his hammer. The weaver stops at a loom. Even in the square, where the market is slowing toward evening, people shift their attention to the source of the bell. It is a reminder that safety and awareness are shared responsibilities. Everyone participates, even quietly, in responding to the signal. The bell continues to ring in measured intervals. Each note echoes over rooftops, down narrow lanes, and across open courtyards. Its sound carries a rhythm that is easy to follow. People move slowly, methodically, performing small tasks that prepare the city for whatever is anticipated. The effect is not fear, but order. The bell creates cohesion, making the city feel both alert and calm. At the gates, watchmen respond to the sound. Lanterns are adjusted, walls are inspected, and sentries move with measured steps along the ramp. The bell has guided them through this process countless times before. Its tone is familiar, even in moments of potential tension. They know its purpose: to protect the city, to coordinate action, and to maintain calm in the face of uncertainty. Even those further away from the source of the bell understand its meaning. Its resonance carries across rooftops, through trees, and the long-distance streets. People respond in ways appropriate to their role, closing doors, checking fences, securing livestock, or simply remaining attentive. The bell ensures that no one is alone in responding. Its sound creates a network of shared understanding and preparedness. Within homes and workshops, life slows. Movements become deliberate, hands steady. Even the children, though curious, sense the rhythm and follow it without confusion. In this way, the bell serves as a gentle guide. It does not shout, it does not rush. It communicates clearly, patiently, guiding behavior across an entire community without the need for words or commands. The bell continues its measured tolling, each strike reinforcing the city's awareness. Yet, there is comfort in its sound. It is not meant to frighten, but to protect. It assures the people that they are not alone, that the city itself is attentive, that shared vigilance can create safety. In a medieval world without modern communication, this simple pattern of sound was both practical and deeply reassuring. After several minutes, the bell slows and finally fades. The city remains alert but calm. Doors are secure, animals are settled, and people return slowly to their routines. The message of caution has been delivered, and the rhythm of life continues without disruption. The bell has done its work. It has prepared the city, guided attention, and then allowed life to proceed. For you listening, the sound of the warning bell can serve as a gentle reminder of order and care. Even signals of caution do not need to create tension. They simply mark a moment to pause, to reflect, and to prepare. You may feel that same sense of calm as the city, knowing that structure and vigilance exists quietly in the background. As the late afternoon continues, the streets, homes, and workshops resume their normal rhythms. The city hums softly with life, steady and deliberate. The bell, though now silent, leaves a sense of reassurance and shared purpose. Life continues, guided by patterns both visible and audible, structured by centuries of understanding and communal rhythm. Evening approaches, and the sky softens with the fading light. The medieval city holds its balance, maintained by work, prayer, celebration, reflection, and vigilance. Each bell has its place. Each tone has its purpose. Together, they create a rhythm that is predictable, gentle, and dependable. You may let this rhythm carry you further into calm. There is no urgency. There is no task to perform. The city moves steadily, attentively, and with Coran Dieu. Rest alongside it. Its patterns of protection and caution provide comfort without alarm. The bells have guided the day, and you remain safe within their echo, ready to drift more deeply into quiet rest. As the sun begins its slow descent toward the horizon, the medieval city changes its rhythm once more. Shadows stretch across the streets, softening the edges of timber and stone. The market winds down, workshops close their shutters, and the light falls gently across rooftops. The city breathes differently in the evening, quieter and more deliberate. Then, from the tallest tower, a bell begins to ring. Its tone is steady and measured, neither sharp nor hurried. This is the evening bell, a signal that the day is drawing to a close, and that the city should begin its preparations for the night. Its sound travels across rooftops, down narrow alleys, and into homes, guiding movement without urgency. Salt's families respond naturally. Fires and hearths are tended, water for cooking or cleaning is set aside, and doors are checked. The bell reminds people that the day is ending and that safety and readiness are important. Its sound is not alarm or demand. It is gentle instruction, shaping behavior while preserving calm. A baker who has worked since dawn begins to clean tools and sweep the floor. The dough has been shaped, loaves are cooling, and the shop is ready for rest. The bell guides him, allowing him to complete each task slowly, without rushing and with care. Outside, merchants fold stalls and gather their wares, returning quietly to homes or courtyards. The bell reaches into quieter spaces as well. In a family home, children pause and play to listen. Parents nod or speak softly, using the bell as a signal for routine, supper, tidying, or rest. Even the smallest members of the household sense its purpose. The bell's sound, familiar from countless evenings, marks both rhythm and reassurance. In the streets, movement slows. Footsteps echo gently along the cobblestones, more measured now than earlier in the day. Travelers returning to the city take note of the sound, understanding that gates will close soon, and that night is approaching. The bell does not demand speed. It simply guides. Along the city walls, watchmen respond in quiet routine. Lanterns are prepared for their stations, gates are checked, and the patrol begins its rounds. The bell coordinates the city without words, ensuring that everyone understands their responsibilities as darkness nears. Its tone is calm but authoritative, establishing order and predictability as the day winds down. Even inside the monastery, the evening bell carries significance. Monks pause in study or prayer, letting the sound mark the transition between the final work of the day and evening devotion. Candles are lit for clarity, and doors are closed to preserve silence. The bell provides continuity, linking human activity with the rhythm of the city, of the world outside, and of the unfolding hours. Families prepare simple meals for the evening. Bread, cheese, and vegetables are gathered, and water is poured into wooden bowls. Conversation is low, gentle, measured. The bell has shaped the timing of these small routines, ensuring they happen together, even without instruction. Its presence is subtle but firm, holding the city in a shared awareness of the approaching night. Children grow tired. They stretch, yawn, or lean against a parent's knee. Even their play has slowed, guided by the rhythm of the day and the bell's sound. Pets rest quietly by hearths, and animals in the streets settle into shadows. The city itself seems to exhale, moving from activity toward stillness. As the bell continues, it marks intervals. Each strike reminds the inhabitants of one last task, one final preparation. Windows are shuttered, fires are stoked for warmth through the night, and pathways are cleared. Movement is deliberate. Noise is minimized. There is no hurry, no tension, only gentle guidance. For those listening from outside the city or along its quieter streets, the bell conveys safety. It reassures them that the city remains vigilant, prepared, and coordinated. Its sound connects every person, every household, every watchman and monk. Even distant travelers recognize the rhythm and align themselves with it, if only in observation. The final tolls fade slowly into the streets, leaving a calm resonance behind. The day has been completed. The city is ready for night. The evening bell has served its purpose: coordination, reassurance, and gentle guidance. Work has ended, preparations are finished, and life now transitions into a quieter, reflective phase. For you listening, this bell can guide your mind toward calm awareness. There is no need to act. There is no urgency. Allow yourself to settle alongside the medieval city as it prepares for rest. Its structures, its routines, and its sound carry reassurance. Time is ordered, life continues, and you are safe. Even as darkness grows and rooftops darken, the memory of the evening bell lingers. Its steady tone echoes in the mind, a reminder that order exists, and that the city and its people are cared for by rhythm, habit, and awareness. You may allow this calm to settle over you, moving you closer to rest, sleep, and relaxation. The city breathes gently, guided by sound, by rhythm, and by shared understanding. The evening bell marks the day's end, and night begins. Slowly, quietly, predictably. Life continues within this calm order, and you remain held by it, safe and serene. As darkness settles fully over the medieval city, a new rhythm emerges. The streets are no longer filled with the bustle of trade or the soft hum of workshops. Children have gone to bed. Merchants have returned to their homes. The city seems to inhale, moving from daytime activity into night's gentle stillness. From the highest tower, the night bell begins to toll. Its sound is slow, deliberate, and deep, carrying across cobblestones, rooftops, and alleyways. Unlike the morning or market bells, this bell does not mark labor or celebration. It signals quiet, rest, and reflection. Its tone reminds the city that the day has ended, that vigilance is minimal, and that sleep is welcomed. In the homes of the city, the bell drifts through open windows and thin walls. Families pause in the final movements of their evening routines. Candles are snuffed or dimmed. Children pull blankets snugly around themselves. Parents exchange quiet words and gestures of reassurance. The bell's rhythm encourages rest, signaling that the world itself has slowed and that it is safe to relax. Animals settle into barns and doorways. The last few stragglers make their way home, guided by the familiar tolling. The city moves with a calm precision that can only be achieved through centuries of habit. Each sound, each echo, marks time and space, ensuring that even in darkness, life remains ordered and secure. Within the monastery, the monks respond as they always do. Their evening prayers are complete, but the bell provides a quiet reminder of vigilance and reflection. They walk the cloisters slowly, ensuring that lanterns burn steadily and that the quietude of night is maintained. Even in sleep, the rhythm of the bell carries through, guiding them gently toward rest. In the main square, the market is silent. Stalls are folded, wooden boards stacked neatly, and only a few lanterns remain. The night bell casts a soft, encompassing presence, wrapping the square in reassurance. It signals to anyone still awake that life continues without urgency, and that the city is holding itself in quiet balance. Travelers in the city take note of the bell, even if faintly heard through distant walls. For them, it is a reminder that gates are closed, that the streets are calm, and that rest is the natural order. The bell is not meant to limit freedom. It is a guide, a quiet companion reminding all who hear it of the steady heartbeat of the city. Along the walls, watchmen continue their rounds, but with a gentle, macerade passe. The bell marks their awareness, reminding them of vigilance without haste. Their lanterns cast long, soft shadows over the walls, flickering against stone and timber. Each step is deliberate, each observation attentive, yet the city's calm remains intact. In homes, silence deepens. The bell fades slowly, but its influence persists. Families breathe evenly, aware that the rhythm of life is continuing beyond their walls. The sounds of distant animals, the faint shuffle of a watchman's feet, or the gentle murmur of someone finishing their evening meal are all absorbed into the city's steady cadence. The night bell is both marker and comfort. It communicates without words, teaching the city to rest together, to hold still, and to trust in the structure of shared time. It reminds the inhabitants that darkness is not danger, but a natural part of the day, embraced and observed with care. As the night deepens, rooftops darken, streets empty further, and the city exhales fully. The bell's last echoes drift gently, becoming a memory rather than an active sound. Its presence remains, not as instruction, but as reassurance. All is well. All is steady. All is quiet. For you, listening, this bell can guide the mind toward calm observation. It does not demand attention. It does not urge action. It simply marks the natural cycle of time, reminding you that structure, rhythm, and safety exist. Even in darkness, allow your breathing to slow, your muscles to relax, and your thoughts to drift along with the city's quiet pulse. The night is alive, but it is gentle. Life continues, coordinated by centuries of sound and practice, guiding the city through hours of stillness. Even in silence, the memory of the bell provides comfort, continuity, and assurance. You may rest now, alongside the medieval city, feeling its quiet order settle into your mind. The night bells have marked the passing of the day, prepared the streets for rest, and ensured that the city, and all within it, are held in calm rhythm. Sleep is natural here, guided by steady sound, structure, and shared experience. The city is still, but alive. The streets, homes, and towers carry centuries of rhythm and care. The night bell fades completely, leaving only peace and calm, and you are invited to drift into gentle, undisturbed rest. Deep in the heart of the medieval city, night has fully settled. Darkness blankets the streets, softening the shapes of buildings and muting the sounds of daily life. Only the occasional movement is heard, the gentle shuffle of a cat along a roof, the quiet steps of a night watchman, the distant rustle of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze. From the central tower, the midnight bell begins to toll. Its deep, slow resonance carries across the sleeping city, stretching into the narrowest alleys, the quietest courtyards, and even the outer fields beyond the walls. Each strike falls deliberately, measured, deliberate, and calm. This is the bell of the midnight watch. It does not startle, it does not demand attention. Instead, it creates a subtle rhythm that reminds the city that even in darkness, life continues with gentle order. In homes, the sound drifts through cracks in doors and windows. Those awake pause to listen. A mother smooths her child's hair and ensures the blanket is tucked snugly. A father glances briefly toward the street before returning to his evening prayers. Even for those asleep, the bell maintains its quiet presence, resonating softly through stone walls and timbered ceilings. Along the quiet streets, the watchmen respond to the tolling. Their lanterns cast long, flickering shadows on the cobblestones. Every step is measured, every observation deliberate. They do not hurry, for there is no urgency. The bell sets the pace, reminding them to remain attentive yet calm, vigilant yet composed. Its tone is a guide, not a command. The midnight bell also touches those traveling through the city. Wanderers, passing quietly through empty streets, are reassured by the sound. It marks safety and structure. The gates are monitored, watchmen are alert, and the city remains orderly. Even distant travelers sense the rhythm, adjusting their steps to match the measured cadence of the tolling. Inside the monastery, the monks respond once again. Midnight prayers are observed, not with urgency, but with quiet discipline. The bell guides their meditative steps, each echo marking the passage of time, each pause in tolling, offering space for reflection. Candles flicker in narrow windows, shadows moving across stone floors. The bell binds the living to the rhythm of the night, providing reassurance that life continues even in darkness. The sound carries across rooftops, over walls, and into courtyards. Even those asleep may unconsciously feel the comfort of the rhythm. It is a quiet reminder that the city is attentive, that vigilance exists, and that life proceeds in harmony with shared understanding. The midnight bell bridges the gap between waking and sleeping, connecting all those within earshot in a shared sense of continuity. In homes, silence deepens. The last of the evening chores are complete. Fires and hearths are low, shadows long and soft. Children stir occasionally in sleep, feeling the rhythm of the bell through dreamlike awareness. Even in rest, the city's structure, reinforced by sound, continues to guide quietly. Outside, the streets are nearly empty. The occasional traveler, a guard, or a stray animal moves gently, careful not to disturb the calm. The city itself seems to breathe, inhaling slowly through alleyways and courtyards, exhaling across rooftops and open spaces. The midnight bell punctuates this rhythm, a reminder that time is passing steadily, and that life, even in rest, remains interconnected. For the night watchman, the bell is essential. It reminds them to check the gates, to move steadily along the walls, to observe without hurry. Their lanterns sway softly in rhythm with the tolling, and their steps follow its cadence. The bell ensures that even in solitude, their duties are synchronized, shared across time and space. The final echoes of the bell fade slowly into the city. Its tone lingers in memory rather than sound. Life in the city continues softly, guided by rhythm rather than urgency. Doors remain closed, lanterns glow dimly, and watchmen maintain their silent vigilance. The city is alive, yet peaceful. For you, listening, the midnight bell offers calm assurance. It is a gentle guide, a reminder that even in darkness, structure exists, and that the rhythm of the world continues without disturbance. You may feel yourself drifting deeper into relaxation, moving alongside the city's quiet pulse. The streets, rooftops, and walls hold centuries of experience in rhythm and routine. Every toll of the midnight bell reminds you that life, observation, and care continue, even in stillness. You are held by this rhythm, safe within the calm order of the medieval city. As the night continues, the city rests under this quiet watch. Its rhythm is steady, deliberate, and reassuring. The midnight bell has marked the passage of time, guided attention, and created a sense of connection between all who dwell within the city. Whether awake or asleep, you remain safe, calm, and ready to drift further into the deep rest of night. The city rests under a blanket of darkness, but the night is slowly giving way to the faint promise of morning. The sky begins to lighten just enough to outline rooftops, chimneys, and church towers. Shadows lengthen and fade, and the air is cool, still, and quiet. All is calm, yet subtle changes hint that a new day is approaching. From the central tower, a bell begins to toll, again softly, slowly, deliberately. This is the pre-dawn bell, a gentle herald of the approaching day. Its tone is lighter than the midnight bell, but still measured, still unheard. It does not demand attention. It simply reminds the city that time moves forward, that life continues, and that the world is readying itself for awakening. Inside the homes of the city, the bell drifts through open windows and doorways. Families stir quietly, some awake fully, rubbing sleep from their eyes, listening to the sound with awareness. Others remain in gentle rest, comforted by the familiar rhythm. Even those not yet conscious are carried along by the continuity of sound. The bell marks a gentle transition, guiding the city from rest toward the subtle activity of a new day. In workshops, the bell touches those already preparing for labor. A smith adjusts his tools with measured care. A baker lights a small hearth fire, feeling the rhythm of the tolling guide the first steps of work. Even in these early hours, the bell provides structure, creating a shared understanding of time before sunlight fully illuminates the streets. Outside, the city remains quiet. Mist drifts across rooftops and courtyards, softening edges and dampening sound. Lanterns glow faintly, guided by watchmen and early risers. The pre-dawn bell reaches across these spaces, its resonance bridging darkness and light, creating harmony between stillness and motion. Along narrow streets, the first footsteps of travelers are measured and gentle. Merchants moving to early markets listen to the bell, adjusting their pace to its rhythm. Its sound serves as a silent coordinator, connecting actions across space without urgency. Even those walking alone are guided, reassured by the familiar, steady tolling. Within the monastery, the monks rise for pre-dawn prayers. The bell has already prepared them. Their movements are deliberate, slow, and meditative. Candles are lit in alignment with the first light outside, and the tolling provides rhythm for reflection and preparation. The sound connects them with the city beyond the walls, reminding them that life continues steadily, even in the earliest hours. In homes, small meals are prepared quietly. Bread is sliced, water poured, fire stoked for warmth. Children, still sleepy, are encouraged to rise slowly. Parents move with care, following the bell's pace rather than rushing. The city moves as one organism, guided by centuries of shared rhythm, and the pre-dawn bell orchestrates the gentle awakening. Even in the quieter courtyards and alleys, animals begin to stir. Dogs stretch and yawn, cats move softly, and birds, already sensing the day, lift in the misty light. The bell touches all of them, a subtle reminder that life is about to resume, guided by structure, sound, and shared awareness. As the tolling continues, the streets gradually fill with the soft sounds of early activity. Wooden wheels roll lightly across cobbles. Doors creak open. Voices murmur quietly in greeting. The bell's steady rhythm ensures that the city awakens without chaos, without abruptness. It bridges night and day, rest and activity, sleep and consciousness. For you listening, the pre-dawn bell can guide your mind and body toward calm alertness. You do not need to rise, move, or act. You may remain in stillness, letting the city's rhythm carry you through the subtle transition between night and day. Its presence reassures that life is predictable, organized, and safe, even as the hours begin to shift. The city breathes evenly. The bell fades slowly, leaving behind a lingering resonance, a memory of sound that settles over rooftops, streets, and courtyards. Life begins anew, but with the same gentle steadiness that has carried it through the night. The pre-dawn bell provides continuity, a sense of calm transition, and a soft awareness of cycles repeating, quietly and reliably. Even as the first hints of sunlight stretch across the city, the echo of the bell remains in memory. Families, travelers, and workers are aligned subtly with the day's new rhythm. Life resumes, guided by centuries of sound and shared understanding. The city has awakened gently, safely, and predictably, and you remain held in its calm presence, ready for the final hours of our medieval bell journey. The city now stirs fully awake. The pre-dawn mist has faded, and the first soft rays of sunlight illuminate the cobblestones and timbered walls. The medieval city having passed through the night, greets the day with quiet activity. The streets are still calm, but a subtle energy moves through them, guided by the rhythm of bells that mark the morning. From the central tower, a bell begins to ring once more. Its tone is light, clear, and gentle, yet insistent enough to mark the official start of the day. Unlike the evening or pre-dawn bells, this one carries purpose. It calls people to labor, to prayer, and to the shared rhythm of the city's daily life. It is welcoming, not urgent, guiding the city into motion with measured grace. Inside homes, families respond naturally. Children rise from slumber, stretching their limbs, blinking against the soft morning light. Parents move calmly through kitchens, preparing bread, water, and simple breakfasts. The bell's tolling provides a gentle guide, ensuring that everyone follows the day's early rhythm without rush or confusion. Merchants hear the bell as they open shops and stalls. Wooden shutters creak as they are raised, wheels roll across cobblestones, and baskets of goods are arranged with care. The bell marks the beginning of commerce, but it does so in a way that preserves calm and order. Its sound carries across the square and into side streets, linking the city together in synchronized action. Along the walls, watchmen adjust lanterns and check gates. Their movements are deliberate, following the rhythm of the bell. Even those tasked with vigilance respond to its guidance. It is a steady companion, ensuring that the city wakes in harmony rather than in haste. Their lanterns cast gentle light over the streets, reflecting the balance between early activity and calm oversight. In the monastery, the monks respond with measured grace. Morning prayers are observed, steps guided by the bell's rhythm, hands moving deliberately over books and scrolls, candles lit to welcome the new day. The bell connects them to the city outside, synchronizing the lives of those inside walls with the rhythm of streets, workshops, and homes. The marketplace fills gradually. Merchants call softly to early buyers, carts are arranged, and goods are displayed in neat rows. The bell's sound resonates across the square, keeping the pace steady. There is no urgency. There is no rush. Each person moves deliberately, attuned to the shared rhythm of the city awakens, gently guided by sound. Children begin their playful routines again, moving carefully through streets now touched by sunlight. Parents watch, but without command, allowing their movements to harmonize with the rhythm established by the bell. Pets follow suit, stretching, yawning, and settling into spaces of warmth and comfort. Even animals are part of this early morning order, moving naturally with the city's quiet pulse. Along alleys and courtyards, the first sounds of daily work can be heard. Hammers tap lightly on wood, looms hum softly, and pots clink as they are prepared for cooking. All of these sounds are organized within the structure of the bell's rhythm. Life has resumed, yet it remains calm, deliberate, and predictable. For travelers, the morning bell provides reassurance. It signals safety, organization, and the predictability of the city. Even those new to these streets recognize its purpose. It is a call to awareness, a gentle guide to movement and activity, and a reminder that the rhythm of life continues steadily. Families, monks, merchants, and watchmen all are linked by this single tone. It guides without commanding. It instructs without pressure. It reminds the city and all within it that life moves forward, and that each action, no matter how small, contributes to the harmony of the whole. As the bell fades slowly, the city is fully awake. Streets are filled with activity, yet calmness persists. The rhythm of bells has shaped the day from start to finish. Pre-dawn, night, midnight, evening, and now morning. Each sound has guided attention, reflected cycles of life, and ensured that the city operates in measured harmony. For you listening, the morning bell can be a gentle guide into awareness, reflection, and calm energy. There's no need to move, no need to act. You may simply notice the rhythm of the city and let it align your thoughts and breath with steady, predictable patterns. The bell assures you that life continues, organized, safe, and gentle. Even as activity grows, a sense of serenity remains. The city's rhythm is reassuring, predictable, and calming. Every sound, every echo of the bell connects you to this shared experience. You may feel yourself moving deeper into rest or gentle alertness, carried by the structure of time and the comfort of centuries-old routine. The city lives, breathes, and moves. Morning has arrived, guided by the tolling of the bell. It sets the tone for the hours ahead. Calm, deliberate, and steady. The first light touches rooftops, workshops, and homes, casting soft warmth over cobblestones and timber. And you, resting or listening, are held gently within this rhythm, safe, calm, and aligned with the flow of life. As the morning settles fully into the medieval city, life continues in measured rhythm. The streets, markets, workshops, and homes home quietly with activity. The rhythm of bells has guided the city through night, midnight, pre-dawn, and morning, shaping time with sound and structure. Now, the city has reached a point of quiet reflection, a moment to pause and consider the passing of a full day. From the central tower, the concluding bell begins its tolling. Its tone is warm, steady, and gentle, softer than the morning bell but resonant enough to be heard across rooftops, alleys, and courtyards. This bell does not signal labor, caution, celebration, or rest. Instead, it marks the full cycle of a day, allowing the city and all who dwell within it to reflect on the continuity, safety, and rhythm of life. Families pause in their homes, listening to the tolling. Parents glance at one another, sharing a quiet nod or smile, acknowledging the cycle of time that has passed. Children, now calm and aware, move with care, noticing that the day has a rhythm beyond their own play and chores. Even the smallest residents of the city, whether child, animal, or visitor, sense that the bell carries something important, a reminder of harmony and continuity. Along the streets, merchants and craftsmen finish their tasks, arranging wares, closing shutters, and preparing for the next cycle. The bell's sound guides them gently, creating a subtle awareness of completion. It ensures that work is balanced with reflection, that effort is connected to observation, and that the city's daily pulse is felt by all. Inside the monastery, monks paused once more. Scrolls are rolled and stored, candles dimmed, and meditation continues with the bell as a guide. The tone encourages reflection rather than action. Each echo marks a moment to consider the passage of time, the flow of life, and the connection between past, present, and future. Even travelers, who move quietly through the city, feel the effect of the concluding bell. Its resonance is reassuring. It communicates safety, order, and rhythm, reminding them that the city is attentive, organized, and alive, even in the simplest moments. The sound binds everyone together, those awake and those resting, in a subtle network of shared awareness. In homes, meals are finished, fires burn low, and daily tasks are complete. The concluding bell encourages pause. There is no rush, no urgency, no pressure. The rhythm of the city is steady and predictable, offering comfort and reassurance. Residents breathe more slowly, walk with measured steps, and feel the quiet presence of a structured life. The bell carries memories of the day's other tolls. Morning bells guided work and routine. Wedding bells celebrated life. Funeral bells reflected sorrow. Evening and night bells marked rest. Midnight bells guided vigilance. Pre-dawn bells signaled awakening. Now, the concluding bell draws all of these experiences together, reminding the city and its people that time is continuous, measured, and reassuringly ordered. Even the streets themselves, empty or lightly traveled, seem to respond to the sound. Cobblestones, walls, and courtyards absorb the resonance, creating subtle echoes that linger in memory. The city is not only a collection of structures and people, it is a living organism, moving together, guided by rhythm, attention, and centuries of practice. For you listening, this concluding bell can serve as a gentle guide into rest, reflection, and calm. It reminds you that the world, like this city, continues in steady, predictable rhythm. There is no need to act or worry. You are held by structure, sound, and shared understanding. Every moment of the day, guided by these bells, has unfolded in balance, and now you may rest alongside it. The bell fades slowly, leaving a soft echo in the city and in the mind. Its presence lingers as a memory of harmony, order, and calm. Life continues quietly, whether through work, rest, or reflection. The city breathes steadily, its rhythm intact, its pulse gentle and measured. As the day continues, people move, work, pray, and rest, guided by the memory of the bells. Each sound has left an impression, connecting families, neighbors, travelers, and watchmen in the quiet knowledge of shared life. The bells have created a structure that balances activity, reflection, joy, and vigilance. For you, now fully settled, the story of the medieval city's bells serves as a lullaby of rhythm and continuity. You may feel the passage of time, the gentle cycles of life, and the assurance of shared experience. Each echo of the bell carries comfort, encouraging deep rest, calm breathing, and release of tension. The medieval city, alive with centuries of rhythm and careful practice, continues its day, its night, and its cycle. The bells, having guided each hour, now rest in memory. Their purpose: order, safety, celebration. Reflection remains. You are carried by this rhythm, calm and secure, ready to drift into deep, uninterrupted sleep. And as the final echoes fade completely, you are left with the sense of timeless presence. The city moves steadily. The bells have spoken, and all is well. The medieval city sleeps, and you sleep with it, held by sound, structure, and the gentle pulse of life. And so, as the last echoes of the bells fade across the cobblestone streets, the medieval city rests. Towers, rooftops, and quiet courtyards are still, cradled in the gentle rhythm of time. Every bell that rang today, from the morning chime to the midnight toll, has guided life, celebrated joy, marked sorrow, and ensured the city moved as one. And now, in this calm, steady rhythm, the city sleeps, and you may rest alongside it. Feel the quiet of the streets, the soft shadows of the towers, the lingering warmth of life and history. Let the memories of bells, of footsteps, and of gentle human presence settle within your mind. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, only calm, only peace. Tonight, you are held by centuries of rhythm, guided by the gentle sound of bells, and carried into deep, uninterrupted rest. Sleep peacefully, knowing the city and its timeless heartbeat watches over you. Good night, and may the calm of the medieval city remain with you until morning.